Yo, what's good everyone? Welcome back to ACS Sneakers. My name is Aiden. On today's video, we are taking a look at my top 10 upcoming sneakers for the month of May. April was an absolutely incredible month for me personally, a massively expensive one as well, and hopefully I can take some of that energy into this month as well. But before we get into all of that, I want to welcome back my returning viewers and 20 new viewers. Welcome to the channel. We do release brand new sneaker content just like this each and every week. So do make sure to smash that subscribe button if you haven't already. Also, make sure that bell notification is switched on so you never miss a video. And without any further ado, let's go ahead and get into the intro. So just quickly before we actually go ahead and dive into the video itself, I want to let all you guys know that all this information does come courtesy from the Source Supplier's website. Now, we'll leave a link in my description area below to the Source Supplier, as well as a link to each individual release, just in case you want to check it out in any more detail. I do also want to point out that as of today's date, which is the 1st of May, all the information is correct and up to date. However, as we all know, a lot of this stuff can actually change from time to time, so releases can be brought forward, pushed back, or whatever for any given reason. So do take this information with a pinch of salt, but I have tried to get you the most correct and up-to-date information for the video. But with all that aside, if we now just go ahead and jump into the list. And kicking us off on this list today, we have an absolutely incredible release. It is a collaboration between Stingwater and Nike for the SB Dunk Low in the bright red colourway. Now, this is scheduled to be releasing on the 8th of May for a retail price of £95. And personally, I'm really excited for this release. It looks absolutely incredible. There's so much about the shoe that I actually do like. Quick rundown, they've got these raised white dots right the way throughout the upper. Apparently that's supposed to signify the look of a mushroom, but to me, just based on the pictures I've seen, it kind of looks a little bit like elephant print or kind of like something you'd see on one of those Atmos collections. So I'm personally really excited to see how it looks in hand. I also really like the icy outsole on this shoe. Always looks incredible on any Nike shoe, to be completely honest. But the major selling point for me is that Stingwater branding falling off that mini swoosh on the lateral side. Looks absolutely incredible. This is definitely a must cop right off the bat. If I can hit this shoe for the personal collection, I'm going to be super excited to actually try it out and actually get them on feet as soon as possible. But the fact that it is an SB release will mean that absolutely everyone is going to be going for it. It's going to be incredibly hard to get for the personal collection. And I do also think that after release, the resale price is going to be really high. So with that in mind, if I can't hit for retail, I'm not going to be paying the resale. I will be completely honest.
Alrighty then.
But if you're not really feeling that Stingwater collab, also releasing on the 8th of May, we do actually have another SB release. We have the Nike SB Dunk Low in the Papa Bear colourway. Now, this is scheduled to be releasing for a retail price of £90, and arguably, you probably will say that this is a lot more wearable than the shoe that we've just taken a look at. Personally, as I've already touched on, I personally am really in love with the other shoe. The Stingwater collab just looks a lot better in my personal opinion. It's a lot louder, and it's just a lot more of me. But for the standard everyday person and just for everyday wear, you'd probably say that the Papa Bear colourway is just a lot easier and a lot nicer. The suede looks pretty good. The leather quality is probably going to be pretty decent as well. And when it comes to SBs, they're a lot more comfortable than the standard Dunk Lows. So I do actually think a lot of people are going to be really excited for this release. Like I've already touched on with the Stingwater collab, with it being an SB, I do expect that a lot of people are going to be going for it. It's definitely going to sell out on release day, and I do expect that the resale price after release is going to be pretty high. I do think the Stingwater collab will probably go for more. That's just my personal opinion. But in general, like I say, both shoes are really nice. So if you do want either of these, do make sure to get all your raffle entries in, because you definitely don't want to miss out on either shoe. So the 8th of May is actually looking like it's going to be a jam-packed day, as we have another release also scheduled. We have the Jordan 7 Flint Grey releasing for a retail price of £165. Now, I, in general, don't really like the 7s. I don't really like how they look aesthetically, but how can you not like this shoe? It is genuinely a really easy, nice shoe to wear. I personally don't have any 7s, and this is going to be the first 7 in my collection. I don't expect resale is going to be high. I think it's going to be around that retail price point. And I think after today, you know, where we saw the red Flint sitting on sneakers, I do actually think they're still on sneakers right now, available for more sizes. I expect that the Flint Grey, or just the Flint 7s, whatever they're calling them, are going to be exactly the same. I don't expect that they're going to sell out. I think they're going to be readily available, and I do think they're going to be pretty much just a standard GR release. I could be completely wrong, but that's just my personal opinion. So when it comes to like entering raffles for this shoe in particular, I would just suggest err with a bit of caution. It is better to get more than one to make sure you actually get it if you really want it, but you don't want to end up with too many pairs. So do err on the side of caution when it comes to raffles. But like I say, I do think it's going to be pretty readily available, and I will personally be going for it for the personal collection. So I guess at this point we may as well call May the month of the dunk, as we have another dunk releasing. This time it is the Nike Dunk Low in the Lemon Drop colourway. Now this is scheduled to be releasing on the 14th of May for a retail price of £90. Now initially this was scheduled to be dropping last month, and I'm not exactly sure if it was just delayed or if it had just a new release date, but apparently now it is going to be releasing on the 14th of this month. Personally, I'm kind of not too excited for it. I was a little bit more excited last month, I'll be completely honest. But the fact that it's been delayed and we're now still waiting for it, it's kind of one of them. If I get it, that's great. If I don't, that's kind of fine with me as well. And I'm definitely going to go for it. I go for every single dunk release, like a lot of you guys will as well. So if you do manage to get your hands on it, I do think the resale price will be pretty good. Not as good as what we're going to see with the SB releases earlier on in the month, but I still do think you'll be able to make a pretty decent profit. I also do believe if you are wanting this for the personal collection that you should enter as many raffles as possible, because it's going to be really hard to get in my personal opinion. And next up on our list we have our very first Jordan 1. It is the Jordan 1 High OG in the Shadow 2.0 colourway. Now this is scheduled to be releasing on the 15th of May for a retail price of £140. Now, as a quick spoiler alert, if you didn't see my last video, I did mention that I'm not going to be buying any more Jordan 1s for the personal collection other than the CMFTs. The reason for that is I personally don't find Jordan 1s comfortable. No matter how nice the colourway looks, the fact that I'm not going to wear it means I'm not going to buy it for the personal collection. Does that mean I'm not going to be going for it on release? Absolutely not. I'm definitely going for this shoe. 1 for the review, but 2 for the resale price, because this shoe looks incredible. It looks like an absolutely beautiful shoe that I do believe a lot of people will be looking to make a lot of money from. Now, I'm by no means a reseller, but if I can make a little bit of extra something on the side just to kind of help fund the shoes that I actually do want, I'm definitely going to do that for me. Like I said, just in regards to the shoe itself, it's a really clean looking colourway, really nice to wear in the summertime, and I do think that a lot of people are going to be after it. Like all Jordan 1s, it is going to sell out, so do make sure to get all your raffle entries in. Make sure you're up to get it on sneakers on the day as well. This shoe will sell out, and I do think resale price will be pretty decent as well. And next up, we have another dunk release. This time it is a collaboration between Ambush and Nike for the Nike Dunk High in the Deep Royal colourway. Now this is scheduled to be releasing on the 18th of May for a retail price of £180. This is actually a follow-up colourway from the black and white that we had originally. This was then followed up by the pink colourway, and the Deep Royal is the latest iteration from this collab. Personally, the Deep Royal colourway is by far the best of the three. It's definitely something that I actually do want for the personal collection. There's just something about that rich blue, white, and then the black on the Nike swoosh. Blends together really well. It's a really nice and simple shoe, but it actually looks really elegant to me as well, and just something that I really need for the personal collection. So once again, I'm actually putting it out into the universe. I need this shoe. Hopefully the sneaker gods can bless me, because this is definitely going to sell out. I do expect resale is probably going to be really high as well. So like I've always been suggesting on all of my videos, if this is a shoe that you really want for the personal collection, do all your footwork early. And if you do need any help with the raffles, do make sure to check out the raffles guide on the Source Suppliers website as well. And next up, we actually have a contender for shoe of the year. It is the Amarante Air Jordan 3, scheduled to be getting a worldwide release on the 22nd of May for a retail price of £165. Now this shoe has already released overseas in the US, and I have watched pretty much every single review that I can find on this shoe. It is absolutely stunning. I am genuinely in love with this shoe. If this was to be the last shoe that I get for the rest of the year, I'd be perfectly fine with that, to be completely honest. It's absolutely stunning. I need this for the personal collection. Forget everything else that we've seen on this video. Forget everything else that comes for the rest of the year. This shoe is stunning. You know, replacing the elephant print with that really nice thick suede, aging the shoe so it looks kind of vintage, adding those really nice special details on the heel tab. There's just so much to love about this shoe, and everything about it I personally love. It is a women's exclusive release. but it does actually look like they've released it in extended sizing. So even you fellas out there with bigger feet, you should actually be able to at least enter for your own personal size. Whether you get it or not remains to be seen, because this shoe is going to be very limited and very much sought after by everyone. So if you are able to get it, amazing. I personally hope that I can get it as well. I also really do hope that women are able to get this shoe, because at the end of the day, it's a women's exclusive release. Quite often, they're not able to get their shoe in men's sizing because it doesn't actually include them. So I really hope any women that end up stumbling across my video, if you really want this shoe, best of luck trying to get it. Next up, we actually have our very first entry from Yeezy. It is the Yeezy Quantum in the flash orange colourway. Also scheduled to be releasing on the 22nd of May for a retail price of £220. I will be honest, the retail price point is a little bit weird. I'm not exactly sure if the source supplier have got this one right. In my personal opinion, based on my really bad memory on it, I'm pretty sure that it was normally between 180 and 200. I might be completely wrong and thinking of a completely different shoe, but I really can't remember it being £220. But like I say, I might be completely wrong. But yeah, just in regards to the actual shoe itself, when it comes to the Quantum, I'm not the biggest fan. I just think it's kind of one of them. It's just a shoe that I personally don't really like the look of. This colourway is definitely changing a lot of my opinions on it. I think this colourway is absolutely fire. And this is probably, of all the Quantums that have released, the only one I'd actually want for the personal collection. Whether or not I get it for the personal collection remains to be seen. I definitely do need to start being a little bit more selective when it actually comes to what shoes I actually want to wear. Based on some of the videos that I've seen and some of the reviews that are already out there, it's not exactly the most comfortable shoe in the world. So that's definitely something that I personally have to bear in mind. And if you are like a reseller and you're watching this video, when it actually comes to the resale price on Quantums, as you probably already know, they generally sit around that retail price point even after release. And even with some colorways that are arguably better than this, they sat on shelves and were available for weeks after release as well. So this is definitely not a shoe that I would recommend investing in. I do think it's going to be pretty readily available, and I do expect that the retail price point is probably as much as it's going to go for in terms of resale as well. Do take that with a pinch of salt. I could be completely wrong, but this is definitely a shoe that I would highly recommend, you know, not putting too many raffle entries in, because I do think if you really want it, you will be able to get a pair. And just like buses, you wait forever for one and then two come at once. We have another entry by Yeezy. This time it is the Yeezy Foam Runner in the mineral blue colorway. Now this is scheduled to be releasing on May 29th for a retail price of £70, and personally I'm not exactly sure if I want it for the personal collection. I recently did a review on the MXT grey colourway. I actually sold that and it's no longer in my possession. You know, the resale price was too good to turn down, just to be completely honest. And I do expect that when we get more, you know, foam runners in the future, I can expect that that resale price is going to start to come down a little bit. I do think there's still a decent amount of money to make on it, as I do think like the audience around the foam runner is expanding all the time. People's initial reaction to it was, it's ugly, it's terrible, blah, blah, blah. But I do feel like the more people that actually get them in hand, and especially get them on feet and realise how comfortable they actually are, I feel like the opinions are kind of changing. So this is definitely a shoe to keep an eye on. It is something that I'm actually looking to get for a review at least. Whether or not I keep it in the personal collection remains to be seen. But if you do really want to pick up your first pair of foam runners, or just to add to your foam runner collection, do make sure to get all your raffle entries in. But they should also be available on the Adidas Confirmed app as well. The Confirmed app, in my personal opinion, is tragic.
It's true.
And last but by no means least, we are going to finish exactly where we started with another Dunk release. It is the Nike Dunk Low Rooted in Peace, which is scheduled to be releasing at some point in May. Unfortunately, as of now, we don't actually have a confirmed release date for this shoe, but personally, I do expect that it will be releasing towards the latter stages of the month, if not potentially June as well. Now, this will be releasing for a retail price of £90, and I personally feel like it's one of the more refined shoes on this list, but the details are absolutely exceptional. It's the little things like taking inspiration from Japanese gardening, the little peace sign on the lateral side. All of these things always have to be taken into consideration by somebody like myself, and it's definitely a shoe that I want to see in hand. Whether I would keep it or not remains to be seen. I'm not exactly sure, to be completely honest, but Like with every shoe on this list, I'll be going for it for a review at the very least. Like with all Dunk releases, this is going to sell out. Resale price should be pretty decent as well, especially with all the little added features on the shoe. So it is going to sell out. I kind of think it's going to be pretty limited as well, just in my personal opinion and based on what I've read online. But that just about wraps up my top 10 upcoming sneakers for the month of May. Let me know what your thoughts are in the comment section below. Do you agree with my list, or is there any that you potentially would swap out for any other releases in May? It does seem like it's going to be a pretty jam-packed month, so do make sure to leave that comment in the comment section below. If you stuck around to this point in the video, I want to say a massive thank you. Do make sure to smash that subscribe button if you haven't already. Also, make sure that bell notification is switched on so you never miss a video, and I hope to see you all again in the next one.